Happiness in the Workplace. Group 4. Gabriel Rios, Kevin Yim, Milagros Monroy, Raymond Dang, and Michael Casillas. Introduction, position. Have a closer look is one of the bullet points. Happiness is crucial is another bullet point. And increase in productivity is the third. What this means is the company should take a closer look internally at what they can do to increase productivity. One of the things they can and should be improved on is employee happiness. By improving the happiness of your employees, productivity will increase dramatically. Introduction, purpose. Often overlooked, and the better work environment equals better happiness. And employees want to be motivated, are all bullet points and main things to focus on in this section. So the reason why we are doing this on the subject is because happiness is often overlooked aspect of business. It is important that your employees are happy because increasing the happiness of workers will increase productivity dramatically. Our research will show that no one wants to work at a business or a company that has a bad work environment. Think of it, any job that you had that was boring. Were you motivated to go above and beyond what the job asked for? Everyone wants to be motivated to come to work, and that often comes from having a happy workplace. Employees are more inclined to go above and beyond if the happiness in the job is there. The introduction to the methodology. Bullet point 1, we created a survey, and then we also did the interviews. So for our methods on how we got our results, we created surveys and distributed it to fellow classmates and coworkers. The survey had questions such as on a scale of 1 to 5, how happy you are in your workplace, as well as feedback on how to increase happiness. We also interviewed fellow coworkers and bosses on how to increase worker happiness.
In this slide, I will be talking about benefits to the employee. The first point being the reduced stress and improved health. Over the past 3 decades, we have seen a steady increase in overall healthcare costs, which also includes the increase in premiums from private insurances. The improved health of people will only help to reduce the cost of healthcare, also reducing the additional stress from higher costs. The second point being the inclusion in discussions and decision making, and the third point being the support from supervisors and colleagues. According to an article in Forbes magazine, a survey conducted in 2017 found that after an employee's basic needs are met, such as comfortable wage and benefits, what matters most to employees is the feeling of inclusion in conversations and decision makings that are relevant to an employee's day-to-day tasks. The last benefit to an employee is an increased motivation. Employees that feel more motivated are more likely to be engaged and perform at a higher level. In this slide, we will be talking about benefits to an organization. First benefit is increased productivity and efficiency. And disengagement can be costly. In studies by the Queen's School of Business found that a disengaged employee is 49% more likely to have an accident and 60% more errors and defects. So an engaged employee increases productivity and efficiency. The second benefit to an organization is increased profitability. In organizations with low employee engagement scores found that they experience 18% lower productivity and 16% lower profitability, 37% lower job growth, and 65% lower share prices over time. The next benefit to an organization is less employee turnover. And turnovers can cause associations with recruiting, training, lowered productivity, loss of expertise, and so forth, and they are significant. The Center for American Progress estimates that replacing a single employee's costs approximately 20% of that of an employee's salary. The last benefit to an organization is the reduced absences due to improved health. Disengaged workers had 37% higher absenteeism. An estimate of 80% of all doctor visits can be attributed to stress. So reduced stress improves health, which reduces absence. In this slide, we will be talking about the benefits to the economy and society. First major benefit to society is improved health will contribute to affordable health care. Although some measures like the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid have aided in trying to reduce the cost of health care, Ultimately, we cannot make healthcare affordable without having a healthy population. Reducing the stress culture in the workplace in our society will help reduce the cost of healthcare and improve the overall quality of life for everyone. The second is the increase in gross national happiness. Ever since World War II ended, a country's success and value has always been measured by its gross domestic product, GDP, or previously referred to as the gross national product, the GNP, which only takes into account its monetary value. Now, many critics of the GDP measurement state that although the GDP captures commodities, it does not capture capabilities or the value of life such as health, education, political freedom, and overall happiness. Studies have shown that there is no correlation between wealth and happiness. So the metric of gross national happiness can help measure the quality of life in society.
The purpose of the survey.
Purpose of a survey in the workplace. A survey is a series of questions designed to inform employers of how satisfied an employee is in their current job and job role and place of employment. Employees feel that through the survey they have a voice to express themselves. Surveys are inclusive and anonymous. Since their responses are anonymous, the employees taking the survey feel open to truly speak their minds and how satisfied they feel with their workplace and offer suggestions to changes without fear of repercussion. Employers get feedback of the company perceptions through the responses of its employees. And the positive benefits of employee survey for happiness in the workplace are: employees feel they have a voice, receive feedback on work conditions in the workplace, employers can reduce turnover, they can retain employees, increase employee loyalty for the company corporation, and also give new ideas and changes in the workplace for employers to incorporate through employee feedback. Happiness in the workplace survey. Our questions were: on a scale of 1 to 5, how happy are you with your current job? Why do you give the rating? What could be done to improve your happiness? These are some general questions we asked our interviewees to get an insight of their satisfaction in the workplace. Average happiness rating. This is the average happiness from the survey given to employees and managers. 3.45 was just above average. Happiness ratings reasons totals. There were various categories for reasons of happiness. Positive work environment and job security were the single most important for happiness. Happiness improvement reasons totals. The reason for improving happiness showed that more pay was the single most important part. Communication was also a key factor.
Interviews and results with managers. We asked 5 different managers from various fields of employment the questions asked on our survey. 1. On a scale from 1 to 5, with 5 being happiest, how happy are you with your current job? 2. Why did you give your happiness rating? 3. What could be done to improve your happiness in the workplace? I thought these were pretty standard questions. Some of the open-ended questions were asked once the summarized results of the survey were shared with managers. 1. What is happiness in the workplace to you? 2. Did the results of the survey surprise or differ from what the managers expected from the analysis of the survey? And 3. What can you do to improve and encourage happiness in the workplace for you and your employees? Interview profiles. Anna A. was a retail stock replenishment manager from the Disneyland Resort, and she's had 5 years of management experience. Jack P. is an IT risk manager from Bank of New York Mellon. He's had 11 years of management experience. Kevin S. is a senior financial reporting analyst from the Disney Financial Services, and he's had 6 years of management experience. Cheryl F. is an IT support manager for Soft Brands Incorporated, and she's had 21 years of management experience. Antonio R. is a production process manager for Solvay Draca Incorporated, and he's had 33 years of management experience. In the interview results, What was learned overall from asking the managers the questions from the survey? Their responses were of little difference in comparison to the rest of the people surveyed. A manager point of view did not present itself here very much. The open-ended questions were of interest in that age and experience influenced their responses mostly. Anna A. commented happiness is having the work-life balance needed with her kids when issues come up. Kevin S. replied that a company that supports his development, such as educational reimbursement, makes a huge difference in happiness. And Antonio R. was on the other end of the spectrum and said that happiness is job security as benefits and retirement approaches. Some of the managers were not surprised by the results of the survey in general. Cheryl F. noted that people in their age change their views, and what is important in one moment may not be later on. Jack P. remarked that wages are still important to me. When asked the final question of what can you do to improve and encourage happiness in the workplace for you and your employees, manager response was supportive overall. Cheryl F. and Jack P. both commented that they should listen to their employees even if things could not change. Antonio R. best summed up the question by noting that his personnel are his best resource and his success depends on them. Always strive to make things better for them, and they will return the favor.
Happiness in the workplace is an overlooked factor that could positively affect productivity.
Real-life scenarios. The following video clip will show an example of an unhappy employee in the workplace.
Hi, boss. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, Milagros. FYI, I'm gonna need you to come in tomorrow.
I can't, boss. I have things to do.
You know what? If you can't cover your shift, looks like you're gonna have to find somebody else to cover for you.
Okay, that's fine. Next. I said next.
Hi.
Good morning. Can I help you today?
Hi. I just wanted to see if I could make a deposit on my account here.
Well, you know, sir, next time if you don't want to wait in line, you can always go to the ATM and they can do the transaction. They're much faster.
I just thought you could just help me here. I'm already here anyways, and I waited in line.
Okay, sir, then just swipe your card, please.
That's good.
Example 1, follow-up. The teller was not happy after being told she had to work, and this in turn led to her being rude and curt to the customer. The customer, in turn, just did not know how to react and was puzzled. So, as you can see the effect, the teller, receiving the bad news, took it out on the customer. This is bad customer service and bad productivity. Real-life scenarios, Part 2. The following video clip will show an example of a happy employee in the workplace.
Good morning, boss. How are you today?
Not too bad, Milagros. How are you this morning?
Good, thank you.
Milagros, I was wondering, would you be able to cover a shift tomorrow
Sure, boss. No problem.
at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that's perfect. Great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'll be happy to help you here. Good morning. Welcome to Bank of USA. My name is Milagros. I'm my assistant today.
Finally, dude, I've been waiting in line for like 30 minutes. You guys should have an extra teller or two.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for the wait. How may I help you today?
Can I get money on this card?
Sure, sir.
This card.
Perfect. So what I'm going to need you to do is, if you can please just wipe your debit card on the machine. All right. Thank you, sir.
That's good.
Example 2, follow-up. The teller was very willing to help out the manager that asked politely for her to change her schedule due to the manager attitude. This led to the teller being polite in spite of a very rude and hostile customer at her station. Because she was treated with respect and she was given fair notice, she did not take any of her attitude or feelings out at the customer, despite the customer's very rude and hostile situation given at the moment. Thank you for taking the time to watch our presentation. Sincerely, Kevin Yim, Milagros Monroy, Raymond Dang, Michael Casillas, and myself, Gabriel Rios. This is from Group 4, saying thank you Have a good night.